Okay guys, let's check out the new Zelos Mirage 2 with a manual wind 8-day power reserve movement. This thing is beautiful. It still has a rugged type effect to it, a rugged appearance or feel. It's not like super refined dress watch that you would typically find maybe an 8-day power reserve movement in. So it kind of resonates with me. I think it's more approachable, it's more wearable, it's just very interesting to look at. So from an enthusiast point of view that has the working man's job, this is something that just resonates with me. But the price is still expensive. We're going to talk about that. But first off, I have to say thank you very much to Dane from Celine Driver. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel down below because he is the reason that I was able to see this watch, essentially. So can't thank you enough, Dane. I really appreciate it. So let's just get right into it the best I can, because there's some things here that are beyond my knowledge for sure. So 42 millimeter case, 48 lug to lug, 13.2 thick, which you're approaching dive watch thickness. So it's a little bit thicker for a manual wind movement, but there's another reason why it's thick. It's because of the layers that are involved. But anyway, 20 millimeter lug width, and you can see this one and a couple other, they come with a fitted FKM rubber strap, which these things are just absolutely top quality. These are amazing straps. And a 6.2 millimeter crown. This is, of course, not a screw down crown. It's just a push pull, and it has some really nice knurling. I'll try to get some close-ups, and I might even dabble with some macro if I can figure it out. This thing weighs in at 91 grams. So pretty lightweight as well. The reason it's lightweight is almost all of the Mirage 2 models are titanium. So we can talk about that real quick. So there's regular titanium models that like not all fancy looking like this one and like the gold colored one. And those ones come on bracelet. Those are priced at $3,900, which is probably where I would actually be comfortable spending on one. As cool as these ones look, these are amazing looking. Well, they're sold out too. But the titanium ones, they come on the bracelet. Plus, I think you can get the FKM strap. And has a much more approachable price at $3,900. It's still a lot of money. I'm not dismissing that. It's still a lot of money. But you got to look at the specs on this watch. This guy here is $4,900. So I don't know, if you're already spending $39,000, spring the extra $1,000, forgo the titanium bracelet, because honestly you're probably going to want to wear it on this anyway. This is a very nice package. And then you get this crazy, it's kind of like Damascus, essentially, like like how they do steel with Damascus, they do it with titanium, so they call it Damascus. And then this black in here is actually zirconium, so they call this a zirctie. Zirctie Zelos Mirage 2 8-day, I guess is what we're going to call it. So $4,900 for this one, and then there's like a gold colored one, which I actually kind of like that one. And that's just the way that's heated in the Damascus process. So that's different heat levels is how you get the blue versus the gold. And then get this, the one I actually really want to see, but there's no way I would actually buy. Well, maybe I would if I was able to handle one and be absolutely blown away with it. But they have a full Sapphire case version. I've never even handled a Sapphire case watch. Like, I don't know anything about brands that build like that. That's just mind-boggling. So this one already has Sapphire front and back, so you can see right through the watch, right? But it also has the Sapphire dial, which is why you can see all the way through. So Sapphire, Sapphire, Sapphire. It's like a triple layer Sapphire. It's, yeah, extremely cool materials. On top of that, the movement, like all of the components in the movement, are skeletonized to the max. So you have the bare minimum of material there just to withhold the structure, essentially. And that includes the barrels, the twin barrels, like the housing for the springs inside the barrels, like they're skeletonized, so you can actually see the springs inside. This is as cool as it is to see like manual wind movements. This is like next level. This movement, I don't know anything about this movement, to be honest with you, too, other than it's like I don't know its history. It's a Laju Perret, and it's the LJP7500, 33 joules, beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. And the only other nugget of information I found is actually Citizen Group owns the Laju Perret. So I'm sure they're probably left to their own devices and they can create and construct however they want. They just are probably going to have a larger capital and more resources. So just because one company owns another company, that's not necessarily a bad thing, that they're like not fully independent anymore, because now they have way more capital, way more working resources, so in the manpower. So it could potentially be a good thing, and in this case I think it is, because I mean, look at this. Now of course it's spec'd out to Zelos standards here for the PVD coating on all the bridge work, and then, you know, I mean, just, I don't even know what to say. I mean, just look at it. It's crazy. You have the nice printing on the Sapphire on the back. So Zelos Swiss, very simple, really. Mirage 8-day hand wound. And then on the main plate, on the back plate there, you see 33 joules. And I don't really see any other printing on there. But once you get that rotor out of, you know, the automatic rotor, once you get that out of the way of some of these movements and you can really study them, there's just so many cool things going on. I could just stare at this all day. So let's wind it a little bit while we are zoomed in. So we can do this from the front or the back, where you can see all of the inner workings happening there. So, and then you can see, like, when you backspin it, there's nothing happens, but when you go to wind it, and there's a power reserve indicator or power meter on the front too. So it's just fun to look at all those gears. So you can see it winds this barrel first, and then once you get so much wind on it, then it actually starts to wind the second barrel. So they don't wind, they're a little bit independent of each other. That's so cool. Let's take a look at it from the front side. And as you're winding, you can see your fuel gauge there increase. That's all tied into the gear train. You have applied indices, a nice clean handset, also coated, and everything's going to be loomed. We'll do a loom shot. It's not like crazy diver loom. It's like the appropriate amount of loom for this watch. So you have a running seconds at 6, your power reserve at 12, and then your hour and minute hand. Just insanely well done handset too. Slightly skeletonized as it approaches the center stack. And then notice the post on top of the post there is actually completely capped off too. The attention to detail on this thing is absolutely next level. I'm not sure if it hacks on this movement. No, it does not hack. So, man, this thing is just a wonder to look at. But on top of that, like I said, it's still kind of approachable, right? In the sense that, maybe not the price for a lot of people, but it's still approachable from like the wearer standpoint of view, because it's still legible. I can read it no problem, and it's a decent size. It's extremely comfortable on wrist. So yeah, this fitted strap, I mean, look at this on my 7¼ inch wrist. So like if you're shopping around and you're at this price point, like this is definitely something to consider. It's way outside the box for traditional people that are, you know, shopping at these price points, because they, you know, they usually don't gravitate towards micro brands. But every once in a while, and this is that time, where a micro brand like Zelos that is so well established will produce something that is catching the attention, or should catch your attention, of what they're capable of doing. You know, they're capable of building amazing affordable divers, but then they can come over to the other side and play with like the high horology stuff. Very, very interesting. I have a few friends that I think would be very interested in checking one of these out, if they just had the opportunity to either, you know, sit down and watch an actual video on it, or maybe actually even handle one. So maybe I'll talk to Elshin and I'll see if I can get that Sapphire case one, because I mean, this one's super cool, don't get me wrong. This would be the one to get. Dane isn't wrong. I like the gold one a little bit more. I would probably go towards that one. Or it's not gold, but, well, although Elshin, you could probably make a gold case one of these. but the gold toned colored one to it, the yellow or whatever you want to call it, and then the Sapphire one. I would definitely want to see both those. But C3 Lume and BGW9, I've went long enough. We're already over 10 minutes just babbling on this thing. But you could do that. This is a conversation piece. Like, I'm still blown away. I don't want to send it back to Dane, but I will, because I know he's anxiously awaiting for its return. All right, there's the Lume. And I probably undersold it. It's actually sweet. If you've ever been in a small aircraft and flown at night, and I think that's about the only thing I can relate it to, and or even a larger one, and with no lights on, and then all the dashes all kind of lit up or whatever, or a car or whatever, with the headlights off. Don't do that. Don't drive at night with your headlights off. But this is kind of what it reminds me of. Absolute darkness, and then just fully loomed, super visible, easy to read, no problem. All right, guys, now I'm just not making sense. Let's stop the video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.